Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Papa Bale, and welcome to the channel. I've been experimenting with permanent magnet situations. Uh, Maybe generate a little bit of voltage with permanent magnet motor. I got about 40 volts out of mine. But right now we're at a different setup. As you can see, I've taken my round magnets and I've turned them on their side to see if we can get any more force out of the stationary magnet, and maybe a staggered approach. See, I have these long ones on there too, and maybe we could, change the number of long ones per magnet, like per magnet. So like 11 would have at least 10 extra magnets on it, but I don't know how feasible that is, so that it goes like a corkscrew. But so far, I mean, you can see how it's working, maybe. And they're moving a little bit because they're just chilling there. And I've removed the levitation disc from underneath, the magnetic stator underneath because it interferes with the magnets on their side the way they are. It doesn't work the same way. Actually, the magnets kind of cross each other out when they're on their sides because there's an equal amount of force of each pole, and that equals 0. But as for the face, this face here is now facing the face of the rotor magnets, which is, I would say, improving the situation a little bit. Now what's going on underneath there is there's a coupler flange kind of holding the pole in place, and then there's 4 steel ball bearings that are holding up above the flange, and then this is just sitting on that, and it's like probably just high enough to work, and that's what it was all about, just getting it up high enough so that the magnets wouldn't be scraping. Really, you only need to use 1 bearing, but I use 4 to get the height. So now what I'm wondering is if I should break this stator up into 2 parts and have one pushing and one pulling. So like one would be here pulling, another one here pushing. But I think they're going to be facing the same way because the opposite side of the magnet is going to be coming this way and being pulled, and then the opposite side is going to be pushed. So I'll have to really consider how I'm going to do this. And then the pole in the middle is magnetic as well. So that might be causing some of the stoppage. Oh, so, I used to, because I had these poles, put magnets in the middle and see if, having the magnets in the middle would cause acceleration or not. The answer to that question is no. In my experience, the stator magnets have to be in motion for there to be any kind of acceleration beyond a certain point. I mean, if you're going to put your apparatus on a motor, people are going to think that you're using that motor to spin the thing. You know what I mean? It's like, come on now. You can't put it on a motor and expect people to think you're not using the motor, even if it's a great pivotal point. Even if it's so superb that you have to use it. And you're not really using the motor. People are going to think you're using it. You know? Trust me on that. But I've taken all my coils down. I've taken all my power off the table. There's a couple cords, but that's no big deal. And the reason that there's a flat magnet on there is because it's super glued on, and I don't have the 25 bucks it's going to cost me to get a new one. And a lot of my magnets are now, damaged because of they come together. They get loose and then they catastrophically fail and they come together and they chip. Large chunks come off of the magnets. And it's like, gotta be more careful, man. You gotta be more careful. But look at that. That's pretty impressive. But I think having the one pull on this side and then push on this side, and then maybe even having two on the other side doing the same thing, it's going to greatly improve. And have it really far out like that, like 4 inches. 4 inches away. Have it either that much or half of that. So 2 and 4 or the 4 and 8. Because you don't want it too close, because if it's too close, it's definitely going to stop really, really fast. Doesn't matter what your calculations are. Unless you're riding the fringe, like this. Unless you're riding the fringe, you're going to stop really, really fast. People think, and it's been like proven in some ways, that the closer you are, the faster it is. Like with electromagnet. The closer you are, the more energy, magnetic energy is going to be transferred to the magnet through the coil, like a pulse of electromagnetic energy. The EMP is real, and when magnets come together, there's sparks happen because it's like a flint. This material is kind of like flint. The Neodymium magnets are made out of a material that kind of is reminiscent of a flint, to me anyway. Gosh, I get into thinking and then explaining stuff and then the camera goes everywhere. I don't like that. I don't like it being way far away with a tripod either. I don't like that. I wish I had somebody like filming this so that they could, stay focused. But I feel accomplishment coming on here if I can get those separated and without having everything come together like I was talking about. Alright, well, peace out, guys. Have a good night. And we're just experimenting. This is just an experiment to see if this new way of setting up the magnets allows for further motion. Assisted motion is what I want to say. Because the other motion that we did with this was called coasting, and it really didn't involve too much outer magnets, just the magnets underneath. Well, have a good night. Peace out. Please subscribe.